So the Big Bang Theory ninth season.
Ninth season, I can't believe it.
Vampires exist in every culture. China's Shang-Chi, Yaramayahu from Australia, the Indian Azrabar, the Jararaca of Brazil, or the many European incarnations, such as the Strix, Strigoi, Frigolacus, Rodent, Upir, Vampire, Dracul. In 1988, in the city of Mytilene on the Greek island of Lesbos, Hector Williams and his team of archaeologists unearthed the remains of a vampire they named Vlad, his body nailed into his grave. 10 years later, a second vampire was exhumed in a churchyard just a few miles out of town. These two finds have helped elevate the vampires of Eastern Europe from mythical beings to monsters of historical fact. Would someone be considered a vampire in the first place? After death, the skin dries out, dehydrates, or shrinks a bit.
What?
If the impression is stubborn, the top surface of the skin can peel off and slip off. On the fingers, sometimes you can see the black line curling the drop. And this can give the impression that the body is still alive, hair is still growing, fingernails are still growing. In earlier times, when people's understanding of disease and illness was limited, superstition
Let's see. So I'm looking to stream Dirty Bomb tonight. Because I heard there was some big update with it or something, and I was trying to get that running. Dirty Bomb. It's been a very, very long time since I've actually played this game. So it'll be really cool to actually see this running. Sorry, I'm messing around with my chat, of course, but whoa. I'll have to downscale it to 1080. I hope it lets me use my gamepad too, because that would really suck. I definitely want to be able to use mine. It did not like me clicking on that.
Welcome to Merksev. I'm Mia, your combat liaison. We're going to run you through a combat test today. Standard procedure. Head over to the firing range and we'll get started. The firing range is ready when you are. Hurry up. Hold the run button to move at top speed. There's nothing to worry about. Routine test. You'll have no problems.
Why does it have nothing for the gamepad?
You know we have more than just one room, right? We have a variety of talent signed up at Merksev. There's no contract, no upfront fee, just destruction on demand. This building used to belong to our parent company, UServe. They weren't wild about the dangerous levels of radiation, so we moved in. Glad it doesn't seem to bother you, though. Vasilia better get a move on. We've got the shooting range booked. Show off.
Contractors make more money with Merxev.
I wonder.
With Merxev, your data is safe. It never leaves our system. Merxev, we keep you safe at affordable rates.
Secondary use.
Contractors make more money with Merxev.
Well, I just feel dumb. Oops. I said,
With Merxev, your
mind
data is safe.
controls,
It
and
never
of
leaves
course
our
that
system.
would do everything for me, but...
Merxev, we keep you safe at affordable
Crouch
rates.
me down, jump. Top crouch, please, because I love top.
Contractors make more money with Merxev.
Reload. Right shoulder. Quick melee. Heavy melee. Ability. Switch primary chat. Blah, blah. And it still doesn't want to do it. It's registering that like half my stuff is there, but secondary fire there, so. Okay. Oh, do I need to? No. This makes absolutely no sense to me. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the main menu. Because maybe it'll be set up there. Hey, Vicky.
Hell yeah!
Tremendous.
That's BS. Why is this game like this? So right now, I haven't played this game in a very long time. I think I played maybe a couple matches like a year or two ago. Probably 2 years ago, like when it first came out and whatnot. Maybe even if it was in the early access, I think I played this. And the game does not look like it's changed much, to be honest. I vaguely remember it being just a pre-Overwatch clone. I think it was pre-Overwatch, I forget though. Hey David, how you doing, man? You gotta fix these load times. This is ridiculous. I'll have to tell all the guys that you shout us out. I really appreciate that, man. Yeah, we just got the CDs the other day, and we were so psyched to actually see those come in. This is unbelievable. I don't understand what is taking this game so long. Oh, the music stopped. Oh, never mind, it came back. This is killing me. Something happens.
First, don't let them get the EV to the GH building. Then defend the containment lab.
Oh my god, what's going on?
Finally, don't let them get the override cores to the container. They mustn't repair that EV.
Jesus. I wonder if this game is as choppy for everyone else, like watching too. I gotta get out here really quick. Wow.
Get their EV. Don't let it reach the GH building.
No, don't get me out of the game. This is so bad. And it just kicks me out. What the hell? Oh.
EV's halfway. Stop it at once.
Teams are imbalanced by 2 players. Really? Yeah, I'm the only one left on my team.
They have a way in. Defend the cause.
Okay, some different merch.
They've got a call.
Big surprise.
First call delivered. You have one last chance to stop them.
Swear to God.
They grabbed the second call.
No. I'm about to fuck with this game.
They delivered the second call. You let them steal the override cores. CDA is not happy.
So I waited all that time. I think I spent more time waiting for this game to load than I actually spent playing the game. Let's see if I can do one more game. Not like doing that's really gonna help shit in this game, but. Okay.
First, stop Jackal repairing the EV and getting inside the castle. Then, stop their EV from reaching the tower. Finally, stop them from destroying the reactor controls. Defend that EV.
Defend that EV. Overload. All an EV is. And this is sweet. Flag is so hardcore. Dang, what was that?
They repaired the bloody EV. Stop it from reaching the tower.
Changing mag.
Oh, cool. 2 against 1. It's always the best. Oh, boy, boy, boy. What? 1% health. Yeah, that's what I thought.
They're in. Defend the reactor controls.
Ow! How is it that every time? Fine. Oh, crap. I'm running the wrong direction altogether.
They planted C4 at the reactor control. Defuse it now.
That guy definitely had a sniper. Oh, got me a pistol? What? Oh, thank you.
Got bullets for you.
Sure. Ammo pack. To all my great teammates. And C4 is gonna go off any minute now.
They're stealing all controls. You have one bloody job.
Let's see. Hey, just ask the chat. Did it actually update to say that I'm gonna be playing Doom? Because on YouTube, I don't know if it updated or not, and I was just trying to figure out. Did it actually update though to say that I was playing Doom? So I'm still trying to figure that out. Well, the thumbnail's probably still on Doom. That makes sense. That's whatever. But as long as like it says overall to like I guess people who aren't actually in right now, that's what I'm caring a little bit more about. Heat blast, remote detonation, micro missiles, definitely. Come on, there we go. Explosive shot. Right, kept all that? Good.
3, 2, 1, go.
Gaslink detected.
There we go.
Access denied.
Access denied. 2, 1.
Jesus Christ. So I just figured out about this arcade mode like the other day. I haven't actually, this is my first time actually trying it out and everything.
3, 2.
I'd like to believe that's the reason why I'm doing so shit. Oh my god, one hit. Congratulations.
Three, 2, 1.
Go.
Metal overload.
Hang on. Kill a key card. Shield. FPS games are hands down my bread and butter. It's actually really funny because last night my drummer was over and we played Halo 1, the original, literally until 5:30 this morning, some freaking outrageous crazy time like that. We wanted to complete the entire game all in one night, non-stop. I didn't get it. Yeah. But, played the whole game straight through on the Xbox. Started at 8:30, ended at 5:45 this morning. And I think that next week we're actually going to stream playing Halo 2 and do kind of the same exact thing, because he's never beaten, he played Halo 1 for like the second time in his life last night, and then like Halo 1 Combat Evolved for the second time ever last night, and then we're gonna try to get the Halo 2 done, and he wants to complete all the games like relatively quickly, and he's like trying to also like do a little bit of a streaming thing. So we're going to do something where like every weekend we're streaming or something. I think that was like the plan that we kind of organized. It was late last night, so it's hard to exactly remember, but hopefully both him and I will be streaming a lot more, doing stuff like this, because we both really enjoy playing video games, and it also kind of gives you that excuse to get online and do something if there's people that are involved with it and are into it and everything like that. So that's the hope.
Extra life acquired.
Ooh, 10,000 points too. Look at the Hell Knight over there. Bitch. Yeah, bonus points. Oh, looks like it had a little break for me to go get or something. Is there anything down here that's trying to attack me? So if you use it. Come on, I need an item or something so I can keep up this multiplier. There we go, that's what I was looking for. Stop shooting at me, wherever it is that you are. I want anything that you're selling.
Gas leak detected.
Second me most things.
Gas leak stopped.
So if RTSs are your game of choice, if you play like Halo Wars by any chance? Because that game was pretty awesome. I think Halo Wars was probably the closest thing that I played ever, really, that came close to like a StarCraft type of game, because there seems to be this big issue, I feel at least, that whenever someone creates an RTS of any kind, every side is like exactly the same, but like, you know, way back in the day, it was a lot better where like with StarCraft and everything, where no matter what you played as, it still felt different, and it allowed you to feel like way more not immersed, but like it just felt so much better playing those types of games back then, because they felt so different, going from Protoss to Zerg to the whatchamacallit, the Terran, you know? And like there's not many games that are like that anymore, I don't feel like. Especially when in the RTS genre. I mean, granted, I haven't played many RTSs lately because I kind of lost hope with them, but that was my big problem I always had, was that, you know, I played StarCraft growing up, and it's like, when you go from StarCraft to some of the other games, it was so shitty. So did you play the original StarCraft, out of curiosity? Because, like, StarCraft and StarCraft Brood War, did you play those games? Okay, so what did you enjoy more? Did you enjoy playing StarCraft 2 or StarCraft 1 more? Because I definitely enjoyed 1 more than the other. Oh, I have a shot. Shit. Yeah, see, so that's my thing, is that I enjoyed StarCraft 2 because it focused so much on the micro. Or, sorry, StarCraft 1 because it focused so much more on the individual units, opposed to, like, you know, the super fast gameplay and the crazy graphics and, you know, all the stuff that StarCraft 2 basically had in it. Whatever StarCraft 2 didn't have, StarCraft 1 had so much more of. It was unbelievable, and that's what I really enjoy. Yeah, I like playing as Zerg personally. I could definitely play as Terran, don't get me wrong. But I was best with Zerg because I just enjoyed the massive rush. You know, just freaking bombarding somebody with a ridiculous amount of units that did, like, you know, not insane amounts of damage, but enough damage where it was what you needed. But then StarCraft 2, I think when it came to online play, especially for StarCraft 2, I was just so much more into the custom game modes that people were creating, and people were playing with, that I didn't really play any of the normal StarCraft 2. Plus, at that point, the online play was so far past what I was capable of, even, I would say. You know, I would get trucked by people in StarCraft 2 all the time, because it just wasn't my thing. It was too much at that point. And not gonna lie, RTSs at that point weren't holding my attention as much either. You know, I think the only game I had for my computer originally was StarCraft, so that was a huge, that was the best game to me. I had like StarCraft and I had N64 and PlayStation 1, and that was it. But I was a big Zerg fan through all the games. I was a huge Zerg fan. StarCraft 1. I don't think that there was one specific group that I like playing with in StarCraft 2, though, to be honest. Yeah, and I think that's reasonable that, you know, you're doing really good and that school happens. You know, real life happens. I couldn't compete. I couldn't compete because it was just so, it was so fast paced. There was so much going on. You know, I was decent with StarCraft 1. I wasn't good with StarCraft 1 online. So when it came to StarCraft 2, I had played a lot more. By that point, I had played so much more Diablo, and I had gotten so much more into that type of gameplay, you know. Massive MMO, RPGs in general, because usually I didn't have the money to afford MMO stuff other than Diablo. I was nasty at Halo 1 back in the day. That was my big game, I would say. All my friends would challenge me in, and we'd always play, and we'd always do versus on and everything like that. And even before Halo 2 got massive online, I had done a couple tournaments and everything like that.
Now approaching UAC Advanced.
And I actually did pretty decent in the Halo 1 I did really good in Halo 1 tournaments. I did decent in Halo 2 tournaments, but
my office is on the 2nd floor of this facility.
The online aspect just blew up so much around the age that I was like, you know, 15, 16, even 13, 14.
This vast state-of-the-art research, design, and production center uses cutting-edge technology and fabrication techniques to prototype everything from robotics to weaponry.
Demonic presence at unsafe.
Wow. Well, I loved Halo. I loved Diablo 2. That was fucking huge point in my life altogether, I would say. And then Diablo 3 was kind of the same thing for me that
Demonic presence at unsafe levels.
Diablo 3 was the same point for me as Diablo 3 did the same thing for me that StarCraft 2 did. There was just something about it that was not quite what I liked. You know, I feel like they focused too much on the graphics and kind of lost its individuality. It was funny, I actually played the Overwatch beta way back. And I was telling all my friends for the longest time, I'm like, dude, this is going to be the next big thing. This is going to be the next big thing. Like, this game is going to be huge. I'm telling you right now, like, this game is going to be big. Nobody wanted to buy it. No, I'm like the only one out of my friend group that plays betas. Everyone thought it looked stupid. Everyone thought it was a joke. And then go figure, look at what Overwatch has turned into nowadays, where it's one of the biggest esports in the world and all this crazy stuff. I actually, maybe I'll play Overwatch a little bit now, because I actually have Overwatch for my computer. I just never play it because for me it just gets boring after a while.
Demonic presence eliminated. Lockdown disengaged.
Because you can kind of tell that the game was not meant to be something like Halo or like Doom, where it's, you know, I don't even know how to say it. I think that it definitely has this niche audience, and that audience gets it, and they love it, and that's their thing. But But I'm at a point where it just kind of, it doesn't do it for me. Something about Overwatch just isn't, I don't know. Something about Overwatch, just, it doesn't click with me, really. And so, I have issues, like, playing it for long periods, like, you know, even more than, like, a couple rounds at a time. Maybe if I had some friends playing with me, like, I would definitely enjoy it a lot more, but I just don't. Which downplays the game a huge amount. I would love to see a remastered version of Diablo. Like, I would really, really, really love to see that happen. I don't know if I personally would play it, because I had been there, done that, you know. I had almost every god set in the game. I had, you know, a level 80 Necromancer, a level 80 Druid. I had so many crazy characters. I played the hell out of that game so many times. Lost accounts and remade them, and then replayed the whole game over, and found, like, lost sets and then re-got them. So I don't know if I would actually play it if there was a new one that came out, but I would love to see it, because I think that the game itself was such a quintessential and did things that games today are not willing to do. The replayability value of it is unreal, and especially looking at what the game had for its time was just unbelievable.
We are not advancing enough applicants, and our faith is nothing without believers. We cannot conduct our work without them.
And what kind of work is it that you're doing, Olivia? I haven't seen a report from your team in months now, have I? Can I trust that you can maintain your distance and control of the situation?
Of course. I believe in our work, but in order to make progress, we will have to make even greater sacrifices.
This isn't progress, it's madness. The board understands the peculiar nature of your work, and no one is in the dark on what those sacrifices mean to mankind. But your judgment is no longer considered sound.
Uh-oh. That's awesome that he put that much time into it, because, like, I'm sure he was one of those people that I played with way back in the day that were just, like, just absolutely unreal, you know, would just run through Nightmare Cow levels, just destroying everything in his path type of deal.
Stay on the path. The UAC needs your favor.
That's crazy to think that that game is that old now. That's so wild. Yeah, I think I played all of middle school, without a doubt. Like, probably 5th all the way up until all of 5th grade going into all of 5th grade going up into, like, almost high school. I would say I definitely played the game. That's insane, though. I would never run a hardcore character in a hell map. That's some next level shit. You must have just had, like, all bronze tech stuff, not even using sets, because, like, that's ridiculous when you're just running Nightmare, hell cow level hardcore characters. Oh, that's no good. Oh, ready freezing.
Demonic presence eliminated. Lockdown disengaged.
Vic, this game actually is on VR. I haven't bought it yet, but there is a VR version of this game that I've been thinking about for a long time whether or not I wanted to get, and there's been mixed results on, or mixed reviews on whether or not the game is worth it, and whether or not the game turned out good for VR, and whether or not, you know, people should buy it. There's a lot of like really mixed things about the game, but I was thinking about getting it. Funny enough, I think the thing that they said the biggest problem is just the fact that the game runs so quickly that it doesn't translate very well to
Do not be alarmed by the system update. It is a prototype of our interdimensional tether, a means for me to pull you back from hell. I'm sorry for the jolt, but I didn't think you'd allow its installation voluntarily. I'm Dr. Samuel Hayden. I have supplies in my office.
But
this way, please.
I'm thinking about getting it. It's just that it's like $30 for the game, so it's always been a mixed bag for me whether or not I should actually get it.
Welcome, Dr. Hayden.
$30, like I said. I was thinking about getting it before Tony came over last, but then I just decided not to for some reason. I forget exactly why.
The destruction of the Argent Tower is devastating, but I am committed to helping you close the portal. All of our work and understanding of their world is derived from the inscriptions on a large stone artifact we pulled from Hell in the earliest days of the program. We call it the Helix Stone. It is our most closely guarded asset. Olivia was obsessed with it.
I guess that for your dad it makes sense.
Manipulate Hell's energy, bend it to our will.
That he probably understood exactly how to play the game so well that it wasn't as much of a threat to him or to play hardcore.
The power of the well. I believe it will show you how to shut it down. For years, Olivia has kept the Helix in her private office in the Lazarus Labs, which is only accessible through a secure elevator from the Advanced Research Complex across the chasm. Your affinity for guns is apparent. I'm confident you'll find something useful there as well. The service elevator is at the end of the hall.
This robot dude is a treat. I like him. Bitch. Like ColecoVision. You're talking about like the old school Coleco, like ColecoVision. Right? That's insane. That's really fucking crazy, actually, because I know exactly. I remember, like, I know Coleco mostly from like the all the old school shit of seeing it on like whatchamacallit, I don't even, like all those programs and like, you know, like gaming programs and whatnot, just talking about it, not like actually, like, I don't think I've ever touched, seen, played a Coleco, like none of that, but I know of it just because of it being like one of those systems that rivaled the NES way back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So that's insane that like they both worked for Coleco, of all places. I bet it wouldn't surprise me if like both of them have some stuff like stowed away, or like at one point like maybe your dad had something that like he had stowed away for like safekeeping and like, you know, sold it to like get your mom's ring or something like that. Like, I bet you. That's crazy. That's so cool. Well, I'm gonna have to get up there another way, I guess. Yeah, I'm sure that whenever you break that out, you figure out who's like the real closet nerds and shit. Like, that's crazy. Ooh. That was sucked. Don't tease me like that. I know what that means. Hey, look at you. That's sketchy. Oh my god. No! Damn it. Yeah, gaming runs deep in your blood, that means. That's awesome. And again. Oh! Nope, I'm too low to go anywhere else. Sweet! And let's go for another one! How am I supposed to get to that lever? Oh, I am. How dare I? This is gonna drive me crazy. So this lever right behind this door here opens up a retro level. So for me, like, I really want to get my retro levels. I'm not understanding how to get behind door number 1. A rocket jump, maybe? Would that work? Nope. That'll kill you. Awesome. I'm an idiot. Wow. Now, where did the retro level open up? Drive me crazy. Three secrets in one area. Who would have thunk it? Forcing up bands. That shit on fire. that secret. Over here. Got the thing out of there. Oh, hello, Big Ugly. Jesus Christ. It's like a jumping puzzle in Destiny. Oh, so Dave, since I know you actually watch my videos and stuff like that, since I see you comment and everything, I do have some exciting news for my channel that I just bought. What microphone was it? I just bought this ridiculous, awesome microphone that is meant to record bass drum with, and I bought it so that I would be able to do bass reviews with it, like bass guitar stuff with it in general. I'm actually really excited to actually finally do this because I've been wanting to do this for a while. And come on. There you go. Push it back. There you go. And I'm going to be reviewing some pedals and different things that I use on my bass and with my bass guitar and everything, you know. So I'm really stoked for that, actually. What did I buy? It's a Sennheiser 902 E902, and it's supposed to pick up like a ridiculously, unbelievably low, like literally it's supposed to pick up a bass frequency as low as like 20 hertz. So I'm really excited to have that. I bought one of those, and I bought a Shure SM57, I think it was. Yeah, I think I got the 57. So, you know, that way I can do like the highs and the lows really well and have like a really nice like mix between them and everything, so that when I'm recording something, it's not just like biased and focused on like one particular part. It's able to really capture both the highs and the lows of the bass, so you're getting a much more rounded and better sounding frequency. And then I talked to Wes even, and he's gonna help me record some stuff for guitar, and I'm gonna have him demoing some pedals and things like that on the channel as well. Yeah, I saw a lot of people saying the D6, the D12. People were saying use this Sennheiser. People were saying use that Sennheiser. But when I was looking at everything, this 902, I guess, like I said, it's meant for kick drum pedal, really. But it records such a low frequency that I was like, I might as well grab it. It was only $100, and I was like, I'll grab this. I'll see how it works. I'm sure at some point I'll end up getting something else too, but you know, it's a really good starting point, I feel like, and then I can move from there. And just the fact that it captures such a low frequency is what I really care about, because when it comes to bass, you know, it's the E string is supposed to register at 40 hertz, which is stupidly low. And that way I'm actually getting like a real bass sound going on, and then I can work from there. So I'm really excited for it. I can't wait to actually get it in now that I bought it. And hopefully mix something good in between the two. Plus even, like, I think I said in my rig rundown video from when we went to Voodoo Studios, he did a really good combination between a tube amp and a DI from my dark glass pedal. And so this is going to allow me to throw some demos up of the dark glass pedal, which, you know, I know that there's 1,000 of them on the internet, but it's one of those more popular things that people want to hear. And I think that it helps to hear it in different ways. So it's going to be nice to have that up there and that recorded, and kind of shows how that works to people who may not have used a dark glass pedal and may not understand how, like, you know, all of that works out. So I'm excited, and I'm definitely going to be learning some stuff, obviously, when it comes to that, because I'm not I'm not someone who records bands or anything like that. So clearly, you know, there's going to be things that I'm going to be learning when it comes to this. But it's going to be fun, and it's going to be cool, I think. So, and it's going to be cool to be able to throw pedals up and do things when it comes to the pedals, because there is so much when it comes to the difference, you know? That's crazy. That's a sick deal, actually. Congratulations on that. I remember seeing you post something about that way back when. I was gonna hit you up and see if you wanted to get our old PA system, but because it was Wes's, I didn't want to sell it, and Wes didn't give me a definitive yes or no or anything. But that's a really sweet little startup, without a doubt. Congratulations. What symbols did you get? Do you know? Like what kind or whatever? Granted, 2 symbols for $100 period. It's a pretty good price regardless, but haha. Big ugly. That's a great deal, dude. That's awesome. Congratulations. That's great. Oh man, I'm itching again. I'm always on Facebook Marketplace and on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm on Craigslist and all those different types of things all the time, looking up deals and trying to find deals on different things. I have a really bad problem with that. I don't know when I'm going to be doing it, but I'm definitely going to be doing like a gear video soon for the channel. Oh, if there was Zildjian, that's even better. Shit. That's great. I'm definitely going to be doing a gear video at some point soon because, of course, I have like 12 videos in the making at the moment. But, because I'm a serious gearhead when it comes to like all my pedals and everything like that. You know, I think I have like 4 cabinets around my house right now. I got so much stuff. It's kind of freaking ridiculous. And I'm now that I don't have a job, I actually need to start selling some of it because it's too much. It's way too much. And like I got a couple bases, and I really want to, as much as I hate Fender with like a passion, I don't know if you know that I know, I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I hate Fender with a passion. But I'm thinking about either trying to find or building a normal, standard, no frills Fender P-Bass. And I'm gonna, if I do it, I'm literally building it basically exclusively for the channel, because it gives that perfect bass tone that, you know, nobody asks questions about or wonders about. You know, so many people just understand it, as annoying as that is. See, and literally what you just said is exactly why I dislike Fenders so much. Granted, I'm sure it's like a made in Mexico or something where it's a cheaper version of Fender, but I just don't like Fender because so many people give it such high esteem and praise and everything, and it's like 90% of the time somebody buys a Fender and immediately swaps out stuff. And okay, people like Fender guitars, and I can kind of understand it. Not really, because at the same time, people are always swapping out their parts when it comes to Fender, and always, you know, modifying it. And like, how many famous people do you see online who say like, yeah, I buy a Fender and I immediately swap this out? And like, I don't think that that's a good instrument if you have to swap it out immediately. You know, just to get what you're looking for out of the instrument. That's not how it should work, in my opinion. Yeah, made in China. But it looks good. So that's, you know, it looks good, I'm sure it plays good. And that's all that matters to you right now. And then you did the modification that you needed to bring it that extra mile. But like a made in America, it just doesn't make any sense, because you're spending all this money for a made in America guitar or bass, and it's just like, you know, you're spending all this money just to go modify it. And then what if your modification goes wrong? You fuck something up. That's how I always look at it personally. Yeah, for there's this song that we're gonna have coming out that, as funny as it is, it's called One Time Parker Cried. That One Time Parker Cried. And for that song, I told them, or I asked the engineer, hey, can I try that Fender bass over there? And for that song, I decided to actually play a Fender bass. But even in that, you know, even in that case, I played a Fender bass, which is awesome and everything, but it's a studio bass, right? And they modified it. They put Seymour Duncan quarter pounders in it. So you're telling me you went out and bought an American Fender just to modify it? Like, what the hell is the point of that? It drives me crazy. It just absolutely drives me crazy. But in the song That One Time Parker Cried, I am playing a American Fender P bass. And I was okay with it. It didn't do anything crazy for me, but it definitely did something crazy for all of them. That's for sure. They lost their mind seeing me play it. SX Vintage Series. That's kind of funny. I didn't know that SX had a Vintage Series. And funny enough, half the time those bass lines, like there's a lot of times that those bass lines are actually like Seymour Duncan quarter pounders and shit like that, you know?
Activating laser security system.
That's hilarious. I would like to see that, actually, because I really want to know what a vintage Series SX is like. Got the BFG. Whoop, whoop. Access by pressing Y.
Please proceed to the ladder's elevator. Do not press the level 5.
my frame rates are dipping. Probably. That's interesting. I wonder if like they purposely did that for the vintage series then.
In effect.
I actually my Ripper is kind of like that, where it has a stupidly fat neck. It's really similar to my Warwick, luckily, but just the Warwick is slimmer. But it has a extremely round profile, which I like. The Ripper just happens to be a little bit thicker. And like, I should say the fretboard is wider. It's not so much a thicker neck, but like I like a really, I think the proper term for it would be like I like a hard C on my neck, you know. But I don't like when I got my Ripper, I got it at a pawn shop, so it's one of those things where like I didn't order it, I didn't like. I've never been able to actually measure it or go any place where like they can actually, well, I'm sure my loot character actually do that for me. But I never like bothered to actually check into it and see like, you know, what is the deal with my base that like, what is it about the neck that I really, really enjoyed. But Warwick's my baby. Warwick's absolutely my baby, and luckily the Ripper is close enough where I don't mind it. But in terms of playstyle, everyone just likes the sound of the Ripper so much more compared to the Warwick, which I hate, but that's going to be a constant uphill battle. Especially with my band.
Safe levels. Lockdown. Yeah, I got two base guitar builds that are in mind, though. At least two, maybe three, but one of them's totally a vanity thing, so I
doubt that one's gonna come to fruition anytime soon. I would really like to get that, you know, like Fender copy. I would like to do that at some point, just for the purpose of, like I'm saying, the channel, where it gives that even tone that nobody's gonna question, nobody's gonna have any questions about, really, you know, and not be like unsure. Whereas like not many people have ever heard a Ripper live or like anything, so it offers a lot of variables, I guess you could say. I feel like people are gonna ask questions about it, whereas a Fender, as much as I hate it, nobody would. So I kind of want to do that. I also really want to do a Sally 2 build. Unfortunately, Mike Dirnt used to play one. It's actually really funny because when we won Battle of the Bands at Toads, the guy who gave us our, who like told us that we won and everything at the end of the night, he said that same thing, and like I wasn't happy about it because I don't like. I think I was using a red strap that night even, and he's like, oh yeah, Mike Dirnt used to play a Ripper, and he's like, he even had the red strap and everything. And he goes, I think it fits your music so much better than your Warwick. And I was just like, you're such a douchebag. Like, just don't talk, please. Like, I was so upset that like he compared me to Mike Dirnt, because we have this whole thing where like people left and right, like all the time, used to just like say that we were just a Green Day cover band. Like, we sounded just like Green Day. All of our songs sound like Green Day. When we play Green Day, we play them the best. Like, all of that. And so, like, it was like, finally we got out of that shadow. And then the guy at Toad said that. And it was like, well, I guess that I haven't gotten out of that shadow yet. So I really don't like the fact that people associate the Ripper with Mike Dirnt, funny enough. But he did play a Ripper. The Welcome to Paradise music video has a Ripper. But I think that I'm not sure how he used it, that's the only thing. I don't know if he played it the same way that I play it, other than obviously, like, you know, he plays with a pick, I play with my fingers. But, yeah, that's definitely a thing, though. And what I really, really want to do is I want to build Well, I appreciate that, and I'm glad that there's not just a go-to band that you can compare us to. That means that there is some kind of, like, individuality, you know? But, yeah, it was this really bad thing that everybody used to call us, like, you know, just a Green Day ripoff. And so, like, hearing that from that guy, it really sucked, and it really pissed me off. But, I have some really bad poison ivy right now. So I do really appreciate that, but yeah, I would like to build the base that's like a Fender P. I'd like to build a base that honestly I don't know how to do it exactly. I think I would have to do some kind of custom schematic that hybridizes either I would have to do a dual jack output, or I would have to do something that has a hybrid active passive type switch in it, where if you played it like when it's passive, I would want it to sound like my Warwick, because there was a point where like there was actually a small chance that we were like gonna start leaving the state and everything like that, and like really playing like outside of the state, and like I thought about it, and like I love my Warwick, but I would like to make something that was, and at the time all I played was my Warwick out, so I would really like to make a bass that's Warwick-esque when it's passive and has that really nice, you know, crunchy tone, but then there's a mode in it where, like, you know, maybe I go passive all of a sudden and it changes up the bass tonality to be as I use crunchy right beforehand. Like, I would want to be able to change up to make it way more like just raspy or like distorted even. I would really want it to be something unique, and I guess the only thing I can really think of off the top of my head right now is like doing something like what Billy Sheehan has, where he has 2 jack setup, and the jacks are tuned to the different pickups, but do something like that where when you put yeah, do something really special with the electronics, where basically you have a Warwick tone one way, and then you have something else that's like totally monstrous. And what I'm like, literally the best way I can describe it is if I had something that was like Warwick, and then straight up like my Alpha Omega Dark Blast pedal, you know, something like that, where it just completely alters the tone on the fly, but it alters it in a way that's not just like alters it in a way where it's not just like a basic, oh, he hit a pedal, you know, like something that really changes the character of the bass overall. And I might have to build 2 different basses for that. I'm perfectly fine with that. I think it's going to be a long time before I get rid of my Ripper, just because I actually paid more than I should have for it, and it's really become just a very unique character on stage, and it's a unique bass overall, and I've always wanted one, so it's cool to have it, but I don't think I would get rid of it, even to like build another bass. I don't think I would get rid of it. I really don't want to alter Sally either, because Sally's my first like build, and it has its own unique character and property to it, and all of that also. So it's like, it's a really hard situation, you know. But I would totally be thrilled to get in contact with anybody you have who like builds guitars or anything, even if it's just to talk to them. Like, if he's like, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if it's too expensive for my taste, but you know, just to talk to people, like, I always love to be able to pick people's brains and see like what they've thought of, and if it's a luthier of any kind, like what they've done and how those types of things work for them. So that'd be totally sweet, actually, if you could get me in touch with them. Yeah, that'll be awesome, dude. Because, like, my luthier I have now, like, I'm really good friends with them and everything because I used to stop by the shop that she worked at, like, so often it's actually kind of crazy. And, I would sit there with her husband and her for literally, like, hours at a time just chatting about, like, bullshit and everything. And, like, I learned so much just by sitting there and, like, having a conversation with them about, you know, everything. So, that would be really sweet. And hopefully I can get some kind of dialogue going on with the guy. And, you know, in the grand scheme of things, it'd be amazing if something actually came out of it. So that'd be awesome, dude. Thank you. What are these green orbs for? That's BFG, motherfucker.
Alert. Lazarus service elevator now arriving. Demonic presence at unsafe levels. Lockdown in effect.
Bitch.
Demonic presence eliminated. Lockdown disengaged.
Wow, I did really bad on this mission. I literally pick up my phone as you're sending me the messages, funny enough. Damn, that SX is like a serious freaking clone of a Fender. That's hilarious. Oh my god. Is the fretboard a little bit rounded even? It looks like the fretboard's a little rounded rather than just being flat.
You'll find the Helix Stone in Olivia's private archival lab deep within this facility. Few have ever seen the stone. But if you came to us for a reason, you might be able to see something in it we haven't.
It is not a mistake that he has come into our possession. The demons prophesied his return. If he awakes, it could jeopardize the entire mission. For he is the only one who can stand against them.
Attention to all Lazarus personnel. There will be an open forum to resolve any questions or concerns on the initiative to weaponize the demons. Report to the chapel.
What the fuck is that?
Please save your word before attending.
What? That's awesome. Oh, I haven't gotten that yet. Okay, I know I should know who this is, but who is Sean? Sean Millions? Sure, you're laughing at me for pronouncing it wrong, but who is that? Because I'm not sure who that is off the top of my head. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know Dom. Oh, I think I know the band. Oh my god, I can't think of his name now though. There was this guy. There's this guy that I'm friends with. I can't think of his name. Oh, Jesus Christ. This drives me crazy. There's this guy I know. His name is Jared. I forget his last name though. But was he the singer of Comeback of the Year? Because that's the band I'm thinking of. No, I don't think that Dom played with that band. Though. I think that Dom played with or I think it was another person from Say What You Will played with them. I don't know. I have a really bad memory sometimes. I remember like the weirdest stuff, but then like some things I have a lot of trouble remembering. So I don't know why I can't think of it. The Comeback of the Year sounds really. So that might have been before I got into the scene then, to be honest. But that makes sense if he's like been with all these bands. That makes sense why the bass sounds good and looks good. You know, like it looks like it's been taken care of really well and everything. That makes a lot of sense. I'm gonna look him up really quick because I want to remember to actually do this. Comeback of the Year. Just to make sure I actually look them up later, because I'm bad with that type of stuff. I know it's not good, but honesty is the best policy, you know. Just being honest about that type of shit rather than trying to lie your way through it. Gorilla Bell Bands 2013. Oh shit. That's crazy. That's awesome. If I like really thought about it, I might actually know who they are then. I took a quick look at that guy's page too. Like I saw a couple quick pictures of bass guitars and like they look really freaking nice. Not gonna lie. I would love to get a custom bass with it. It's just a matter of like I was talking to this one company that's in the UK about getting me a custom pickguard made by them, but their custom pickguards are like $300 or something like that. And like, okay, I understand, like, you know, don't get me wrong, that's a good price, I'm sure, but for my bass that I was doing on the Ripper, I was like, I paid $100 for the bass. You know, like, I'm not gonna be putting a $300 pickguard on the bass that I paid $100 for, and then, you know, I paid more for the pickups. That's literally what I paid for the pickups of my Ripper. $300. Like, I'm not gonna go out and buy a freaking pickguard that's some ridiculous amount of money when I spent that much on my pickguard. But the idea of a custom bass is just awesome. Wes actually just got a really nice left-handed Jaguar base, and he is super psyched about like getting it all put together and everything. I think I'm not sure if he's gonna do classic Jaguar with the pickups or not. Like, well, obviously classic left-handed, but I'm not sure if he's gonna do the left-handed or not. But he has this body that he just got made by Warmoth, and body was made by Warmoth. It's in seafoam green. It looks so nice. And he was saving up for so long to get this base made, like, it's not even funny. All because he was looking at them left and right, and because there's no left-handed, like, Jazz Masters, since there's no left-handed Jazz Masters, really, like, he was having a big issue finding anything. And when he like knew that Warmoth would do it, but he wasn't gonna be able to afford it for a long time, finally saved up the money, bought it, got it seafoam green exactly like he wanted it and everything. He's so stoked. It was actually funny. The day that we got the CDs in, he got his body, his Warmoth body in. And that same day, he got a call saying that he got a new job. So it was like in one day, everything that he needed to happen for his like life happened all at once. And he was like freaking out. For the longest time too, he was saying that he was gonna get a Kurt Cobain signature guitar for the longest time, because that was the only way that he was gonna get like the left-handed Jazz Master. For the longest time he was talking about doing it, and I kept telling him like, don't do that, because in my mind, like, if you're in a band and you're playing like original music, you don't want to be playing an instrument that someone else made famous, you know? Oh, don't get me wrong, we still get excited when we actually get excited at any time that we hear someone that we actually know is coming to the show, because it's weird. We have like a pretty good listening on what is that? We have a good listening on Spotify and everything, but we don't have very good turnout, and it really sucks. Because Wes and Dan have gotten more selective with what shows we play, and yeah, like, I would, no offense to like anybody who does play it, but like way back in the day, I almost bought a Nikki Sixx custom artist series Fender. Nikki Sixx custom artist series Epiphone Thunderbird bass, and I decided not to because, like, I think I spent like $50 extra to not buy his bass specifically because I ended up getting a Goth Thunderbird instead, and I was like, I'm not gonna be known for playing somebody else's instrument, you know. I would much rather have my own custom instrument, or like have something else that represents me rather than like I'm a famous musician, I'm representing, you know, Nikki Sixx or something. Like I don't really want that. I think that's weird, you know. Even if I have to get something that's just like his, you know, like I'm perfectly fine with that. I would much rather just have my own thing in general and not have to get something that somebody else already thought of and spent all the time like thinking up and creating and, you know, all that type of stuff. And it's funny because, like, even at, like, I think I decided that when I was, like, 15 years old or something like that. And, I had a relative who was like, why would you want to play in a band? Like, clearly you know all this music stuff so well. And, like, you know, this is a relative obviously saying this because I don't know music for shit. But, I was like, I don't want, and he's like, don't you want to be like someone who's making money doing this? Like, why wouldn't you want to be like the producer in the studio or something like that? And I was like, that's not my thing. That's not what I want to do. You know, I've never wanted to be famous for someone else's work. I want to be famous for my own work, do my own thing, not be famous for mixing them, not be famous for promoting them, not be famous for anything like that. I want to do it myself. I want it to be me. I want to be the one up on the stage acting like a fool, being an asshole, breaking guitars, and, you know, that's what I want. That's what I would love. It's not a problem, I just noticed the number go down, so I was curious. See if I was talking to myself. How do I get in this way? So you're gonna ruin in there and everything. I enjoy this game quite a bit. I'm very much a fan of Doom, but I'm still playing the controller version. I'm not playing the VR version, clearly. I know it's 12 a.m. You don't need to text me and tell me that. I know that. Streaming VR definitely is a thing. I told you this, babe. I want to do that. That's what made me get back into streaming, was the idea of like streaming VR gameplay, because it's so much crazier and it's so much more entertaining for people to see, you know, someone running around their room like an idiot, attacking fake stuff and, you know, stuff that no one else can see. I definitely want to hook it up for that. It's just, that's a little bit more in the future, I think. Once my poison ivy clears up off my face, so I'm not getting into the mask and all that. That would really, really suck. And probably be gross. Oh, look at this. Oh, looky, looky. Oh, and there's something running down along there. Look at that big ugly motherfucker. Oh man, people would have loved to see me punch the chandelier. Then again, I wasn't doing all this back when, wasn't doing any of this back when you got the VR, unfortunately. What did I do? Perform 5 different glory kills. Play a game of demon destruction. Like I know what demon destruction is. Because the other thing too is I can always go back on my streams and I can just get like little snippets of really awesome moments and everything like that that's going on. So like, although I have to figure out exactly how to do it so that it actually works out well, like I'm definitely gonna be uploading a highlight reel soon again, because I played that beta game the other day, the Battlefield beta. So I'm definitely going to be doing like a little highlight reel soon of the really good kills I got and everything like that from when I was playing that beta. Because gaming is always going to be a core part of my channel. So. Fun, awesome shit. Probably should actually go back on this stream and try to pull out some of these quad damage kills because... Oh, not that weapon. Because, like, shit like that always looks awesome.
Demonic presence eliminated. Lockdown disengaged.
No, you can do... So, like, for instance, streaming, you know, just saying streaming, going live, whatever, you know, like, that's anything. You know, when you go live on Facebook, or you go live on Periscope, or you go live on Instagram, that's all streaming. It's just that streaming, like when somebody says it like that, usually is more focused on the idea of, go figure. Streaming, when you talk about it in some kind of context, usually is more involved in like video games than anything else, because people are more constantly streaming video games because it's become an e-sport and different things like that. But people stream playing instruments, people stream themselves doing all sorts of different things. It's just a matter of, you know, what is the content of your channel, what is it about, I guess you can say. And that kind of matters, you know. But you could stream from your computer at home, and you could do your own thing if you wanted to. You know, whatever you want to stream, you could do it. I just trapped myself in this room. That sucks.
Demonic presence at unsafe level. Lockdown in effect.
We could, but I guess the biggest thing about, like, so for instance, if you're gonna go live on Twitch, right? Usually people are not going to just go live and people are not just gonna go live without any promised content, because part of streaming is you have to tell people what the content is going to be. So, like, you have to have some kind of objective to it. You know? Twitch is more focused towards the video game stuff. Without a doubt. Twitch is definitely more focused towards the video games. Aha. Figured something out, I think. And I have heard in some like weird rare cases, like people have like streamed themselves playing instruments. Yeah, you now would be more focused towards what you're talking about, where you're just doing something like pizza rolls or something like that, you know? But yeah, I mean, we could do a you now and just do whatever. Like, that's totally a thing. But that's the whole, I guess that's where what I was getting at is when you do you now, it's kind of pushing, it's marketing towards that type of viewership. Because, for instance, right now I'm live on my channel. Like, I'm live on my Twitch channel, and I'm live on my YouTube channel, which actually you're not supposed to do, but people have found a way around it. And there is a whole thing with Twitch where they actually can ban me from Twitch because of the fact that I'm streaming 2 different services at once. But that's besides the point. You can like for instance with like people can just search for me right now, but they go on YouTube and they know they want to search for something, so they search to see what's out there and they find something, you know. And that's where YouNow would be more advantageous because people going on YouNow know what they're searching for and looking for. You know, it's not like they just, it's not like YouTube where you're going on there and blindly clicking on something, you know. You know you're looking for a gaming stream. You know you're looking for a cooking stream or, you know, something like that. But YouTube usually is focused on more pre-recorded content rather than live content. You know, YouTube is trying to break into that market because it's part of Google and blah blah blah, but they're not currently in the market of live content really. They're starting to get there. And so you would market something like YouNow, and that would work for us. This is not fucking working. There we go. I'm gonna laugh tomorrow if I go to get my tooth out, and they're like, we can't take your tooth out. You have poison ivy all over your everything. You're gonna contaminate our whole office. I would love that. I'd be like, well, bitch, you should have called. Someone didn't call. So there's vibrating in my computer. No, of course not. I'm not gonna fucking wake up in time to call. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna wake up with enough time to get there. With just enough time to get there. That's my fucking plan. Wake up with barely enough time to get there. Nope. When I went there the first time, they asked me, why did you schedule a consultation? Like, they questioned me. And I was like, I don't know, because that's what I was fucking told to do when I called. Like, duh. Like, what makes you think I wanted to fucking come in here in the first place, you know? and they like gave me a bunch of attitude because I didn't have a photocopy or a USB drive with my freaking x-rays on them. And I'm like, well, my dentist told me that they were gonna email it to you. Like, what do you expect from me? Like, they told me they were gonna do that, so I expected them to do that. It's that simple. You know, I didn't think that I would have to double check my dentist and make sure that he did it. You know, like, the fuck. And they gave me this huge attitude over it. And then they did the consultation, and the dentist was like, yeah, you really didn't have to do this. And I'm like, well, why did they do this? Why did they make me do this then? And he's like, I don't know, this doesn't make sense. And he's like, well, I guess we can get it pulled. And like, I read the paperwork, and the paperwork told me, like, if you're getting sedated, you should have someone else drive you. And then I was like, okay. They asked me, they're like, so when do you want to come in? And I'm like, oh, well, I gotta call and figure out like when someone can drive me. And they're like, why would someone need to drive you? I'm like, aren't I being like semi-sedated? And they're like, no. And I'm like, your paperwork said that if I'm being sedated, I should have someone else drive me. And they're like, oh yeah, you're not really being sedated or anything. You're just getting laughing gas. And I'm like, this makes no sense. I'm being told all different fucking things. You guys are probably gonna pull out the wrong tooth or something.
Kadun Masametnan, Kryos Enigma, and Mat Dilak, Creon High, Olen Divinu.
This bitch and all for demonic shit all over this. Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't feel right to me. But whatever.
Access only. Authorization required.
Feels very sketchy to me. I don't like any of it.
He led them to his tomb. Please, we can overcome this. I promise. The gate will be opened as planned.
This bitch. Well, the guy who I had the consultation with and looked at my teeth, looked at my mouth and everything, is supposed to be the same guy who was pulling the tooth. Even though I went to a different place and everything like that, he's supposed to be the same guy who's pulling the tooth. So he knows what's going on.
Manual security activated. All terminals now accessible.
And that's what I'm pretty much trusting is the fact that like the guy who's pulling the tooth is the same guy who like looked at my mouth and looked at the tooth and did all of that. So like as long as it's the same dude who walks in, we should be good. sword. The knife. Skulls. Sword.
The Crucible. That's what she was looking for. Vega, did you get the location?
Yes. It is located in an uncharted region of the Titan's realm, but we'll need to rupture another Argent accumulator to create the portal. The only accumulator in this sector is in specimen CD-587.
You're going to have to remove it. Once you've extracted the accumulator, it will become unstable. The ruptured casing should cause a rift strong enough to send you back to their world. We can determine your point of entry using the tether system I uploaded to your suit. Retrieving the Crucible is critical. Without it, we have no way of shutting down the well and closing the Hell portal here on Mars.
Demonic presence does not save load. Lockdown and
Oh, here's the big fat fucker.
Demonic presence at unsafe level. Lockdown. Demonic presence eliminated. Lockdown disengaged.
Nice lady. Just take that while I work for it. And again. Okay, hello. Wow, I can't believe that just scared me. Holy shit. Sorry. Full time. Let's do that.
Lazarus Wave at full charge, ready for activation.
This hell wave will redirect the course of mankind. On this day, we make our contribution to their cause. Our salvation lies with them.
I pulled you from that tomb in the Calendar Sanctum for this reason. I knew she was weak. Our work doesn't come without risks, and I released you from your prison to help mitigate those risks. I knew that in the event of a catastrophe, you'd be the only thing that could stop them.
not entirely sure what I have to do on this. Oh, okay. Sweet.
Demonic presence at unsafe levels. Lockdown in effect.
Don't want to go through that portal.
Demonic presence at unsafe levels. Lockdown in effect. Demonic presence at unsafe limit. Lockdown enabled. Demonic presence at unsafe level. Lockdown enabled. Demonic presence at unsafe level. Lockdown. Demonic presence eliminated. Lockdown disengaged.
What's up, go ham?
You will need to rip out the Argent accumulator powering the Cyber Demon. Destabilizing the core will cause a rift that will send you back to hell. Once the Crucible is in your possession, we will pull you out.
Holy shit. I don't know if anyone's watching out there, but I appreciate you for checking out the stream and everything. It is really late, that's why I said I don't know if anyone's watching, but everyone who did tune in, thank you so much for checking out the stream. This is my first one doing both YouTube and Twitch. I'll try to do more stuff like this in the future. I'm going to try to stream a lot more in the future, so feel free to pop in, check it out. I'm going to try to do things to make the stream a little bit better and a little more entertaining if possible. You know, I'm a little more of a quieter streamer, so I apologize if this isn't really your cup of tea. But I hope you enjoyed everything while I was streaming, and I hope that you tune in again soon. But I'm going to head to bed, so I hope you guys have a great night, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.